on RiverBender.com. As you all know, I'm sitting on my couch watching it with you today as we have two brand new interviews, and we are kicking it off with Ryan and the Solera Wine Bar, where I was just at yesterday and got a little bit too tipsy at the office Christmas party and went to a wine tasting, and lo and behold, Ryan is my savior for bringing my driver's license back. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. You're welcome. No problem. It happens.
So take me through Solera, because it's one of my parents' go-to spots in town, and a lot of people are really starting to find that as their living room almost, you know, just being able to relax with a nice glass of wine. When did this idea come about?
Yeah, well, you know, I guess probably 7 years ago, something like that, when my friend Chris, many people know him, Dr. Aldridge, came to me and he asked me if I would build an inventory system for a wine bar, because I'm a software engineer. That's what I do. And I had already sort of had this idea when I was living away from Alton for a while that it would be cool to have a wine shop or something like that.
Yeah.
And also he comes to me, he asked me this question, and I said, "Why are you asking me this?" And he told me that he was looking into buying a property, and he was going to do a wine bar thing. And I said, you know, yeah, I'll make the software or whatever. Fast forward, by the way, I didn't make the software. But I said, yeah, sure, I'll do that, but, you know, cut me in. And he and I and a couple other people, we scouted the property and purchased it, and 6 years ago we opened the doors, and you know, been going strong ever since, except for that COVID year.
Yeah, well, and see, that's what I think is really cool, because Alton needed a wine bar. It really did. I mean, there's a bunch of folks that really have good selections, but to be able to have it in one spot where you have the same type of vibe, atmosphere, and what you want out of your wine experience, and you guys have it.
Yeah, I think that you know, we wanted to have high quality product, right? But we definitely also, we want it to be a cool place to hang out, right? And that's the thing. At the end of the day, you know, it's a wine bar, but it's a bar. It's a cool place to hang out with your friends and talk to, you know, engaging bartenders, for example.
I would say so. You read my mind. I'm like, you have the most fascinating bartender in the area, and that's Steve, correct?
Yeah.
Wonderful man.
Yeah, Steve's great. I think he can. He's very entertaining. Let's just say that. He's a little offbeat sometimes, but he's actually not just a bartender. He's a great friend of mine. So yeah.
Well, he's a cool. So believe it or not, the first time I got to meet Steve was hearing about the possum.
Oh, right. Yeah. Steve has a pet. It's a possum. He actively adopted this thing from somebody who had rescued it, and that's his little baby girl.
Yeah. Well, and what I think is cool, Ryan, is you guys have something unique, because normally in spots around town, and I'm not, you know, taking shots or anything, please don't think that. I normally take shots, just not those. That's why I left my driver's license. It really fits every demographic, from ages young to senior, you know, citizens, all the way down to just 22, 23-year-olds going in just to relax. And I think that's something that to be proud of, to really have that draw for all ages.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, like I said, it's not a stuffy place. It's a place you can have fun. You can be loud. You know, you can be boisterous. At the same time, sometimes it's also a good place to get away from, you know, the more meat market type of. Yeah. You know, it's still cozy, right? Yeah. You know, it's still comfortable and personal and all that. So we try to make it fun. That's. And you know, I'm not gonna lie, I have too much fun there most of the time.
Well, now I got a question before we go into the wine tasting. Were you a wine person before you got into the wine business?
Oh, so yeah, I used to hate wine.
That's what I was wondering. Okay.
Yeah, I lived in Chicago for a while, and my roommate, my good buddy Josh, he would like leave glasses of red wine out overnight, and I would come in to the living room and be like, this smells like feet in here. Yeah. Like, this is disgusting. How can you drink this? Did not like wine at all, but at some point in time, I did start opening up my
the palate a little bit.
I started to take a few risks and try a little bit of wine, and then I actually, you know, I got introduced to Pinots from Willamette Valley, and that kind of got me hooked. And I was like, you know, I really like wine, and so that's why when I was living in places not Alton, I had this idea that we should have a wine bar in Alton, a cool wine bar, so I could try basically for myself,
right,
to be able to try more stuff, and and then fortuitously, my other friends had the same idea. So, yeah, it was easy to jump in with both feet, simply because like I wanted to experience more wine, you know, and I've got to try a lot of different stuff that I never would have had over the years.
Well, and too, what I think's cool is I like the idea of the wine tasting that you did, because last night was fun. And what I thought was cool is it was affordable. You could go and taste what you want to try it out. And then there was people walking out with bottles. I know Mom picked up 2 for Dad. And then there was a couple of folks grabbing some stuff. In the terms of collaborations with the wine tastings and events like that, what do you look for as a Solera standpoint in order to kind of do those? Who do you look for in partners, and do you continue to keep doing them?
Yeah, well, you know, we used to do them more frequently pre-COVID. Yeah, you know, and they were great. We always partner up with our vendors, you know, a different vendor each time maybe, and basically if they have something in their catalog that they're looking to get some more attention on, you know, maybe they've got some deals coming up, you know, something like that, like a particular vintner or whatever, like they will feature that, and yeah, that's pretty much it. You can pick 4 or 5 wines. And you know, what are you interested in having people try? And yeah, we basically rely on our vendors to sort of help us out with that. In fact, I think one time we had a guy, you know what? Never mind. I'm not going to do the story justice, but we had the vintner himself come from Italy.
Whoa.
Through one of our vendors to do a tasting. It was so long ago. I'm failing on. I'm not going to do a name or a label or anything like that justice. But yeah.
But I mean, the experience was one to remember. That's where we'll say.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Now I got to ask you this: as someone who's definitely tried a lot of wines at this point, and you kind of have your palate there, what's the difference between region? Because for me, as a novice consumer, someone that just throw me a bottle of Barefoot, whatever, that's fine. I'll have a hangover in the morning and feel like junk, but whatever. For you, can you tell the difference by region at this point?
I mean, my palate isn't that refined.
Okay.
But I think one of the great things that's been happening for probably the last decade and a half in wine is that California and the West Coast in general they have very good offerings that compare well to the things you get from France and from Italy, right? I mean, my favorite wines are Italian, by far. And I can't really tell you why, but that is what I like. But you can get absolutely amazing quality wine for a good price out of anything on the West Coast. They're able to grow grapes there that they have the climate to be able to sort of match what's happening in Western Europe.
Really cool.
Which is kind of a new thing, I think.
Yeah, no, I'm in. I mean, it's kind of interesting because I was reading a report actually about, and I'm going to butcher the term, and of course, I'm going to get torched for not knowing it, but there was something with agroengineering where they were taking the way that they could use the genetics in some of the fruit and some of vegetables and be able to grow it in places they would have never thought possible because of the redefining of some of the compounds in the structure of the plant. Really fascinating stuff.
Yeah, you've got a leg up on me. That is not some research that I've done, but yeah, I mean, like technology and everything in the wine industry is obviously ever advancing, and I think America in general has a great demand for it.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
why don't we do? You got a moment? I got to pay a bill.
Yeah.
I got to pay my bills here. Friday morning, the 29th day of December continues with Solera and Ryan, and we'll talk more about the bar wins. We can stop in and grab a nice glass of wine and hang out with Steve for a little bit. So why don't we pay a quick bill? Daily show on the last work day of the year continues right after this in the heart of the 618. Is it time to buy, sell, or even time to consider a short sale of your property? Meet Lisa Webb, owner of 3rd Street Realty. This local, woman-owned, family-operated realty group has over a decade of experience in foreclosures, first-time home buying, and so much more. 3rd Street Realty prides themselves on holding your hand through the entire process. Let their expertise guide you to your dream home. Visit 3rdstrealty.com and start your journey with Lisa Webb today.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trumped. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Welcome to Evergreen Place, a community that embodies joyful living, independence, and financial freedom for seniors. If you're looking for a full day of activities or to relax in your apartment, we have you covered. Located on the Alton Memorial Campus. To know us is to love us. Experience the difference at Evergreen Place.
Life's better when you're under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you've worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
When life throws unexpected challenges your way, you need a versatile legal ally to protect you. Sean Lentz, with over 12 years of experience, is here to help you in a variety of avenues. From personal injury to criminal defense and even semi-truck accidents, Sean Lentz has your back. Don't wait for the justice that you deserve. Call 618-465-8000 and see how Sean can help you today.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Welcome back to this 29th day of December, the last work week of 2023. Wine Bar going to be open this weekend?
We are. Yeah, we'll be open tonight, Friday, and Saturday as well.
There you go.
Yeah.
Get your wine fix on. And what I think...
There's still time to get wine for your Christmas table.
That's true.
And because we do sell, we do retail. You can walk right out the door with it.
And I'm telling you what, they're good prices, honestly. I mean, think about it, because of the time you'd have to take to get on 367 and drive across that war zone to get over to any type of... I mean, it's a war zone. That's the best part of not working at St. Louis Radio. That I get to work here, and the other thing is I don't have to drive and, put my ballistic vest on and hope for the best,
Yeah, right.
But, I mean, it's a really good option. Now, New Year's, are you guys going to be open that weekend?
New Year, yeah. Same.
There you go. Yep. And I like the hours of operation, really. The Thursday through Saturday.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday. 4 until whenever, till 11 officially, but we can stay open till 1, and sometimes we do because sometimes you get a little carried away and you want another glass of wine.
Yeah.
We're not kicking people out the door.
Yeah,
say that.
Well, honestly, if you're like me, that one glass of wine turns into 3 bottles, and there you are wondering why you're hurting 4 days later. You're
Yeah.
When you were helping getting the wine bar together with the other folks, with Chris and everybody else, was there a fun part of the job of trying to structure that building? Because I'm sure you had to do a little bit of work to make it, lay out the way you all wanted it to lay out.
Yeah, well, luckily one of our partners is a contractor.
Oh, there you go.
We just made him do all the work. We had to build the bathrooms, and it actually, interestingly enough, that spot was perfect for what we needed. 900 square feet of basically shotgun style bar, and we just had to figure out how to have somebody build an actual bar, and had like I said, our partner Mario had to make him lay down some tile and build some bathrooms, and that was pretty much it. And the basement works great as a wine cellar. Which was another perk, right? It stays dry, which if you know anything about downtown Alton, it'll be bone dry during the flood time. So
this is wild.
Unless the sewer backs up.
Call Rigdon Sewer Service. Okay, with that being said, I might know the guy that owns Rigdon.
Right.
With that being said, good point. I was doing an interview with Tim Meeks of Olive Oil Marketplace right before Black Friday. And it was 6 o'clock, and I swear, Ryan, it was bone dry. I go upstairs to open the door, and I come back, and there is a foot of water in this basement. I did an interview with wet pants. I was miserable. My feet were cold, and poor Tim was just like, "See, we'll get through this, man."
Yeah. It's I've heard some horror stories down here from many of the business owners, and we lucked out, I'd say. We've had water in the basement, but I mean, like I said, it's not coming out of the walls like for some of these people.
Right. Well, and what I think's cool is the way, the atmosphere and the way that you decorated too. And that goes a long way. I like the tables out front because to me it reminds me of when I was in Rome, and you see those tables and the old guys are sitting there, whatever they called me, I don't know, but I appreciated it. And I swear, I sat down, I said, I want to be a local. So I go in and I sit down at the table, and these old guys looked at me like, who in the hell is this kid? And I'm sitting there smiling, and I'm sure they're talking all the crap they could talk about me. But the thing I'm getting at is the comfort level is there, and then some. And now when you were putting all this together with the guys, was that kind of atmosphere, having some couches, that relaxing, is that what you wanted?
That's exactly what we wanted.
Yeah.
Right? I think we had fun, picking up the furniture, right? The tables that we got we got all this reclaimed stuff from Indonesia and stuff like that. There's a giant mirror in there, and there's this awesome frame that it's in, which was some. I can't think of the place. Whatever. I can't remember where we got it, but we got to find all this cool stuff or whatever, put it together, and then definitely we wanted to have a nice little area to sort of lounge, right? So that's why we have the couch in there and the kind of those comfortable chairs, and then we have the normal bar stools and the high top tables. So it's you can have either or, right? You can kick back and relax, and there's a magazine on the table if you want to read about what's going on in St. Louis and Alton, and just chill on the couch and drink wine, or you can have your normal sit up at the bar with Steve and talk about really weird stuff
and solve all the world's problems. Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
Yeah, we've got it all figured out.
I'm telling you, 4 or 5 times, we just forget it by the next day. We got to do it again.
That's true. That's right. It's never ending.
With that being said, Ryan, we've already been talking 20 minutes, and I really appreciate your time. And with that being said, all the rest of the year, and then, of course, next year, Thursday through Saturday, we can always expect from 4 o'clock, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
4 to 11?
Yep.
Or until the wine dries out that evening.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Feel free to come down and drink us out of stock.
There you go. And then Facebook page, you guys have one?
We do. I think it's just
Solera
Wines or I actually don't know. But I can shoot you a link and maybe...
And we'll link it on the video. That because I
search for Solera and all on Facebook, you'll find us.
Because I highly encourage you folks, if you haven't been in yet, go and check it out. It's one of the nicest spots to just go and relax. Because, you know, in the way the world is right now, Ryan, everything's 4,000 miles an hour and everything's crazy. I like an opportunity just to lay down, lay back, let the hair spray out, and just veg out and with some good wine.
Yeah, especially during the holidays, right?
The in-laws are here. Yikes. We'll take a quick break, Ryan. Thank you so much for your time. Anytime you want to come on, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Our Friday morning on this 29th day of December will continue with a couple of replay interviews. As you guys know, a hybrid show this week because I'm watching on my couch with you. But coming up in the 10 o'clock hour at 10:30. Have you heard of Smoking Aces yet?
No.
This is cool. It's a poker league that's free. It's at all these participating bars throughout the Madison County, Macoupin County areas. But whoever wins the league, which is free, goes and gets a seat to the World Series of Poker.
Oh, wow. That's a big deal.
Yeah, it is. So we've been talking to Ted for the last couple of months. Ted joins us with one of his poker friends from Smoking Aces Poker League. We're going to talk about that upcoming seat to the World Series of Poker and ways that we can go out, play some cards, and hopefully not get embarrassed. All those conversations hit you next after this brief break.